Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. It's been a minute. It's been about a week. We had an onslaught of shows over the last weekend, including the Oscars nominations. Still reeling from a couple of decisions made there.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
some some interesting stuff happening. But we have a very packed show today. Lots of new releases, four major trailers post Super Bowl. We have some questions, debates potentially that we'll get through, plus a fair amount of news. It's gonna be a pretty full show
Yeah,
today.
should be a fun show.
Um,
Should be a fun show.
I'm Trevor here as always with Thomas. Thomas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing good. As you said, should be an exciting show. Lots to cover. So we should probably dive straight into it.
Let's just dive straight into it. So we talk about like critics awards. We haven't we haven't been keeping up as much with them as we've gotten into some of the major awards because the later on they get, the less they bear on things like the less they mean. But we have the two big ones in the U.S., which are New York and L.A. They're
Mm.
pretty important, just as far as predicting like Indie Spirits Gotham. So we had the winners for the London Film Critics Circle, potentially relevant to the BAFTAs, potentially.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
this is England's biggest critics group. So yeah, have you seen these?
I have not seen these, so this will be a
All
live
right,
reaction.
you'll be another live reaction. All right, so the Technical Achievement Award went to Dune.
Fair enough. Yes,
Makes
expected,
sense.
expected.
Young British or Irish performer is Woody Norman, and Come On.
Again, makes sense. Oh,
Expected.
wait, no, Woody Norman. Okay. You might expect it to be Jude Hill, but okay. That's a
Yeah,
50-50, I guess.
I mean, Woody Norman did do an accent at like 8 years old, and it was pretty
Oh,
effective.
okay, so. Right, okay.
Um, Breakthrough filmmaker from that's British or Irish was Rebecca Hall for Passing. That makes
Okay, yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just yeah, makes sense. The British or Irish actor of the year is Andrew Garfield. Makes sense.
Okay, yeah. Makes
Tammy
sense, yeah.
Faye, Spider Man,
Yeah.
Tick Tick Boom,
The whole
mainstream, which
package.
is
Yeah,
very underrated. Um, just what a great year.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I know you saw Isa Tammy Faye recently, and
I
like I
did, yeah,
completely
and
agree with you.
yeah,
He should be in the conversation for supporting actor.
yeah, exactly. Especially since, Scarlett Johansson proves that it is possible to get both actress and supporting actor
Yeah,
in the same year. So why isn't Andrew Garfield in the conversation? I don't know. He does a lot in that movie.
he
Like
does.
some people would claim him to be a lead actor, and maybe
Yeah,
I guess that's why there is a bit of hesitation towards him because
I
people do
will.
think, oh, he's just a lead actor, so they're not looking at his supporting performance. But equally, Lakeith Stanfield last year
Yeah,
supporting, he's a lead actor, so
and I think the problem is that the movie in the U.S. was released in September and was not campaigned really. Like
maybe,
they
yeah.
just campaigned for Chastain and makeup, and that was it.
Mm.
They didn't really even try for Garfield. And I think probably because he was going for a lead for Tick Tick Boom, but like as you said with ScarJo in 2019 with Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit, like it's definitely possible. So I would have liked to see that happen because I thought that he was very good, but okay. Um, British or Irish Actress of the Year is Tilda Swinton for Memoria, The Souvenir Part Two, and French Dispatch. I
Okay,
like
I
the
mean,
pick.
yeah, yeah, she was in a fair bit last year, so I guess
Yep.
so.
All right, here are the big ones. Supporting actress is Ruth Nega in Passing.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that could carry over to BAFTA, although I
I
doubt she'll actually win. I doubt she'll win.
I think that she's in the conversation.
She's in the conversation to win for sure, but equally, I still would never bet against Ariana DeBose in any supporting actress category anywhere.
If DeBose was to lose, though, I would say it'd be at BAFTA.
Yeah, maybe,
I don't
maybe,
see
but
her losing
equally,
Critics' Choice or SAG.
no, 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 for sure, definitely
We'll
not.
see. Supporting actor, everybody say it with me, Cody Smith McPhee.
Smith McPhee, there we go.
It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
yes,
Though, I will say, I may predict Coat Surfer SAG. simply because Coda got an ensemble nom and Power of the Dog did not. We saw that happen
But
with Yunya Jung last year,
yeah,
where Minari got the ensemble nom and that propelled her to a supporting actress win. I still think that Cody will win the
still,
Oscar,
yeah.
but
I think Cody is too strong. I mean, maybe at SAG we could see an upset, but equally, I would still be betting for Cody.
I haven't made up my mind, but like I could maybe. Best actor is Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog. He's winning BAFTA, everybody. He's winning BAFTA. I'm not saying
Yep,
that this is like
he
the sole
should win
indicator, but
BAFTA.
I've been saying that he's going to win BAFTA for a while now, and this changes absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like
No. Benedict
you guys
Cumberbatch
don't care
should be
about
winning BAFTA.
you guys don't care about Will Smith and King Richard.
No, we don't. I mean, I do personally, but you know,
But, like, it's a very
as a
American
country in
performance.
general, we don't.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it is a very American performance.
it makes so much more sense for Cumberbatch. So we'll see. Best actress, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, who we all thought was going to win BAFTA until she was not.
Yeah,
I still don't know
yes.
who I'm predicting. Like, is it just going to be
I
Lady
don't
Gaga?
know. For the
For
win
BAFTA?
at BAFTA,
Yeah.
you know, maybe, or maybe they just go completely out there and go for one of the more independent actresses.
Yeah. Like Joanna Scanlon.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if Ruth Negga wins, maybe Tessa Thompson wins.
Maybe. That's a long shot though.
What if Passing
yeah.
takes? It's possible though. What if Passing takes?
It is possible. Yeah.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I'd say it's unlikely though.
Yeah. Screenplay. This is interesting. Drive My Car.
Mm-hmm. Drive My Car. I mean, if we didn't know Drive My Car was an adapted screenplay at the Oscars, this would have helped. But I mean, it's not going to win at the Oscars, so this one here is, not very meaningful.
No. Director Jane Campion, Power of the Dog. She's sweeping.
Yeah.
British or Irish film, The Souvenir Part 2. Love that pick. Love that pick.
Yeah.
The BAFTAs didn't even long list it, which is disgraceful. Like, The King's Man was like fun, I guess, but you're really gonna say that was a better film than Souvenir Part 2?
Apparently BAFTAs did.
Best documentary, Summer of Soul.
Yeah.
This gives me a bit more confidence that this has like some support in England, because they didn't know, because it's also another very American feeling film. But I don't know. I still think that Flea could happen, quite honestly.
I think those are the two that could happen, yeah. I think the editing nomination for Summer of Soul at BAFTAs was a sign that they were behind it. But yeah, equally at the Oscars, we could see an upset. Or guess it wouldn't really be an upset if Flea was to win. But yeah, I do think it's between those two.
Yeah. And then, Thomas, I want you to guess what one foreign language film in Best Picture. I think that you can.
Foreign language film, is that going to be, that might be Drive My Car, I reckon.
It is, yeah, it's Drive My Car.
Oh, okay. And then Best Picture, this is a tricky one. I think it might be Power of a Dog.
How did you ever know? Yeah.
No way. Wow.
That's every single critics group. Every single one. Power of the Dog and Drive My Car.
Pretty much. Yes.
That's like, critics groups and film Twitter got Drive My Car a Best Picture nomination. Because, like, there was very little campaigning because, like, the subset of the Criterion Collection, Janus Films, does not have money to put a full-scale campaign. So film critics just did it for them. And
yeah. And it worked.
Got the Best Picture nom. So
yes, exactly.
But those are the London Film Critics Circle Awards winners. Maybe some indicators of the BAFTAs. Maybe. Wouldn't take it too incredibly seriously, but can show us what actually has support with England and what does not.
Yeah.
All right, next piece of news. A movie that we'll probably all hate, but we'll probably get lots of Oscar nominations. A Michael Jackson biopic coming from the team behind Bohemian Rhapsody.
I mean, as someone who really enjoyed Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't think I'm going to hate this. I mean, I know more about Michael Jackson than I did know about Freddie Mercury, and I know Michael Jackson is a very interesting person. So it might be fun. It might be very interesting to get this sort of thing. But maybe I would have rather have seen the Rocket Man team take on a Michael Jackson biopic. That would have got me even more excited. Bohemian Rhapsody, the team behind that, created a very standard musical biopic. A good one, but a very standard one. Whereas a person like Michael Jackson, maybe you want something a bit more out there.
I don't think I would use the word good to describe anything about Bohemian Rhapsody, but well,
not even the last like 20 minutes where they're on stage in the concert. That
but what was
incredible.
the editing in that scene?
Well, yeah, ignore the editing.
But it won the Oscar for editing. That's what's so
It shouldn't have won the Oscar for editing.
Like,
but Rami Malek should have won easily, and it was a good film.
Rami Malek like gave a decent performance.
A decent.
I don't know how I feel
high
about
praise.
him, but like he was pretty good. Other than that, like I don't know. Congratulations on your Oscar nomination. Maybe win whoever like gets cast as Michael Jackson. I don't know. I hope they at least cast somebody black to play him.
Yeah.
Because I could totally see them not. That could definitely be a thing that happens, which would be interesting. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this, but definitely going to be.
I do hope they go into his crimes. I hope they don't just avoid them. I doubt they will, because that would be very problematic.
I hope
if they
that
just
they actually
decide to ignore them.
his problems.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be predicting this. Like, I don't think this is coming out this year. It's titled Michael. So,
okay. Inventive name.
Yeah, whatever. The Sundance film Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul has sold to Focus Features in Peacock. We'll see this premiering on Peacock. This movie was fine. Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown were good. I could see them getting some like critics and like Gotham indie spirits attention. But this wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Could have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be a major contender. I think streaming's the right place for it.
Okay.
On TikTok. Yeah, as you know. But I'm gonna skip to something later, because speaking of Regina Hall, we have our Oscars hosts. It's not, I think, what anybody expected. It's gonna be Amy Schumer, Regina Hall, and Wanda Sykes. I mean, I don't like hate this, but I'm also not in love with it.
Yeah, I mean, Amy Schumer, really, someone who is not very funny at all.
She was very good in The Humans, in like a dramatic performance.
Okay,
like actually
in a dramatic performance,
actress.
Yeah.
Not the funniest person though.
No, it's an interesting choice. They are clearly making a very bold decision here, because we sort of maybe thought it might be Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. That would have been a thing. That would have also been 3 straight white men. And
yes,
this is definitely not what they decided to do with this. So it clearly is sending a message, and I'm very happy with that message that they're sending. It just, it may turn a lot of people off even more, which at this point in time, do we really want to be doing? Turning more people off the Oscars who already got turned off last year?
Because the idea, like what like this is supposed to like make people tune into the Oscars, which like
exactly.
basic as a choice is like Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Garfield, and I don't think that would have been my personal choice. I wouldn't have been that incredibly happy with that choice either, but like it would have gotten people to tune in. I think this will be good because so it's gonna be a 3-hour show, and each of them is gonna take a 1-hour segment, so they won't even be together, which I would have liked to see all 3 of them interact. I think that'd be a lot more fun. I guess.
An hour of Amy Schumer. We're gonna be in for a ride there.
Like because like I think that Wanda Sykes and Regina Hall are like incredibly talented and funny people.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Amy Schumer is talented. I just don't know about the funny part. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Good political
Yeah.
move, probably bad business move, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess the cast of Only Murders in the Building, Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin were asked to host them, but they had to decline because they're currently shooting Only Murders in the Building season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that was another one of the speculated things, and it almost happened. And like I wouldn't have been mad about that choice either. I think that could have been fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that would have had multi-generational appeal. I think that would have been like the best of both worlds. Because you have Selena
Yeah.
Gomez bringing the younger audience, Steve Martin, Martin Short brings in maybe the older audience. Like, I wouldn't have been mad about really any of these choices, but I would like any of these, trios. But I also am not in love with any of those trios.
No, no,
I still
no.
like
Which is, yeah.
the idea that somebody on Twitter have Julia Ducournau, Get Roussel, and Renat Reinsve host the Oscars.
I mean,
Just the
yeah,
fun work.
that would have never, ever happened, but
No.
might have been fun to see. Might have been fun to see.
Okay, so if you had to pick a trio of people from that either directed or acted in movies this year, who are you picking?
Oh, that is it's a very big question.
It is.
Oh god, I'm gonna need time to think about that. Will Smith. Let's have Will Smith hosting
Will
the
Smith
Oscars.
up there, okay.
Even if he wins, he gives it to himself.
He gives it to himself.
Let's have Anne Dowd because she was incredible and deserves to be at the Oscars somewhere. And who else should we have? Let's have Emma Seligman for Shiver Baby because
Nice.
Shiver Baby deserves to be at the Oscars somewhere, and that would make you happy.
Yeah. No, I would probably go with Julia Ducournau.
I mean, they wouldn't work together, by the way. They would not work together, all three that I just selected. But those are just three names to throw out there.
Yeah. No, I think so. I Julie Ducournau has to be there. I honestly, I'd probably pick Julie Ducournau, Emma Seligman, and Renata Reinsve.
Okay.
Give me that trio.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure. Again, don't know if it would bring in viewers. That
no.
Yeah. See, the Will Smith pick is sort of to bring in viewers, get people to watching. People like watching Will Smith.
And Dowd and Emma Seligman are there.
Just good picks. Yeah.
Rachel Snott could actually be, if we want to go Shiva Baby, because she's actually a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
So maybe her over Emma. Sorry, Emma. But yeah, I mean, whatever. It's not like I wasn't going to watch the Oscars or watch the Oscars based on the hosts. So
no. Yeah, we did all this show just to decide. No, we're not going to watch. Actually, don't like the hosts.
Amy Schumer, yuck. All right. So, hope that doesn't get clipped and shown out of context. So, next up, Adam Driver is going to do a bad Italian accent again. Michael Mann is going to direct Ferrari. Michael Mann, of course, probably most known for Heat. He's doing a film called Ferrari about Enzo Ferrari. In my notes, I have him labeled as the car dude. I think we all know Ferrari, the car. It's going to star Adam Driver as Ferrari, and Penelope Cruz is going to be his wife. Okay. And then I believe Shailene Woodley is going to be their daughter.
Okay. Well, can I just say, Penelope Cruz is in like cruising around in the car, Adam Driver driving. Oh. They definitely just picked these actors because they had car names in their name.
But where's that come from?
Yeah, I kind of wish you didn't mention that one. That sort of, takes it off there. But yeah.
Cruz and Driver.
Definitely. Yeah, just pick them based on their car names, which is brilliant. But
no, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
this is supposedly a passion project for Michael Mann.
Okay. I mean, I think Heat is a little overrated, if that doesn't get me slaughtered in the comments or whatever. But he's a good director, Michael Mann. Heat is a very well directed movie. Adam Driver is a very good actor. Penelope Cruz is a very good actress. I do quite enjoy biopics when they're good. So as long as it's good, sounds like might be something I'm interested in.
Yeah. So Michael Mann previously has 4 Oscar nominations. The Insider was his big one, starring Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. Got nominated for picture, director, and adapted screenplay for him. And I think there were some acting noms. Yeah, I got nominated for Best Actor, Best Cinematography, Best Editing, Best Sound. So it was a 7-nomination film. Wow. 3 nominations for Mann. And then he was also nominated as a producer on The Aviator for Best Picture.
Okay.
So he has a past with the Oscars. It was a while ago, though. I mean,
yeah,
this cast is very good. Penelope Cruz, multiple-time Oscar winner. She's won more than one Oscar, right?
I don't know off the top of my head.
She's been nominated more. No, she's been nominated 4 times, including this year, and she's won once. So 4-time Oscar nominee. Adam Driver has been nominated at least once. I think twice. Yeah, for BlacKkKlansman and then Marriage Story.
Marriage Story, yeah.
6 Oscar nominations between them. 1 win. Michael Mann, 4 Oscar nominations. It's a biopic. They're being Italian.
Yeah.
The Oscars love Penelope Cruz and Adam Driver. They just love them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This might be something we have to consider. I don't think it will be good, personally.
Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, okay.
I just, off of what we know so far, I mean, I just, like, I don't know. I also just want somebody to make a biopic about Henry Ford now, so that way we can do the double feature of Ford and Ferrari. We don't have to fight. We can join together.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to see Adam Driver be Italian again because we'll get PTSD.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Paddington. Okay, I don't know if this is not an Oscars thing, but I just was very happy about it. Paddington 3 is going into production at the end of this year.
Yay! That is exciting. That is exciting. Love the Paddington films. Who doesn't love the Paddington films? Find me someone who doesn't love the Paddington films. Yeah. It's like A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Some films you just can't not love. Some films you just can't not fall in love with. So, and hopefully Paddington 3, same production team, same cast. Why should it be any different?
Yeah. So, no Oscar nominations for the Paddington franchise, which is unacceptable. Should have at least gotten the screenplay nom. Like, I legitimately believe that Paddington 2 should have gotten a screenplay nomination.
I mean, it's a brilliant film, Paddington 2. Brilliant film.
So Paddington 2 is nominated for 3 BAFTAs. Best British Film, Supporting Actor for Hugh Grant, which I love that pick so much. And then it was nominated for Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah. I mean, give it a visual effects nomination even. Just give it a nomination.
Yeah. We need Paddington to get an Oscar nom. I will be personally heading the campaign team.
Okay, yeah.
But this is just fun. It will probably be coming out in 2023. Mm-hmm. I'd have to imagine.
Yeah,
like late 20. I'd imagine this is like a Christmas 2023 thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these sort of films do release around Christmas time, so probably, yeah, I would say around then.
So, anyways, that just made me happy. Simu Liu, Shang-Chi himself, and America Ferrera, who I'm generally unfamiliar with, but they have been cast in supporting roles in Greta Gerwig's Barbie. So we have Margot Robbie. Then we got Ryan Gosling as our Barbie and Ken. Now we're getting the supporting roles. I'm excited to see Simu Liu in this.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't blow me away in Shang-Chi. No. He was one of the less interesting parts of the movie. But equally, he proved himself a fairly competent actor. And I would like to see him do something a bit different. I mean, I doubt he'll be playing anything like the Shang-Chi character.
No.
So, should be exciting to see him do something different. American Ferrera as well. Not too familiar with her, just having looked through her filmography. I mean, How to Train Your Dragon she was apparently in. Don't remember her being in it. So, no, not familiar with her at all, really.
Yeah. So, Simu Liu kind of rose to prominence through a sitcom called Kim's Convenience. And I've seen a couple episodes, and he's pretty funny. So I could totally see, like, Greta Gerwig films. Like, they're dramedies, usually. Both
Right.
Lady Bird and Little Women.
Yeah, they are.
They usually have some pretty fun moments. I could see him as like a fun side character, as same for America Ferrera, who again I'm mostly seeing in her filmography sitcoms. So maybe some fun side characters, which I'm here for. I'm very excited about this movie. I am a massive Greta fan, so I'm here for. All right, Cate Blanchett is going to produce and star in The New Boy. Not familiar with this, but it's Cate Blanchett, and she's campaigning hard. She's trying to do a lot. With both Nightmare Alley and Don't Look Up, she now I believe has the record for most Best Picture, like for an actress, like the most Best Picture nominees to appear in with 11.
Okay.
Now, I will mention that at the age of 26, Timothée Chalamet is already at 5. With Dune.
Yeah, so that record might be beaten fairly soon then.
Fairly soon. But I think Saoirse Ronan is also at 5 or 6 right now at like 25. So yeah. Saoirse and Timmy coming for that record. But Cate Blanchett is just like she's attaching herself to so many projects. I again don't really know anything about this, but
But yeah, Cate Blanchett plus movie equals decent chance to get Best Picture apparently.
Yeah. Not too much to speak on, but felt like I should mention it. Okay, speaking of somebody who keeps on announcing projects, Luca Guadagnino, director Call Me by Your Name.
This is a different one.
Yes, this is a different one.
Okay.
So there's Nile coming out this year with Timmy.
Is that the cannibal one?
That's the cannibal one.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he has 2 other projects that he's announced that I can't remember the names of. And this is a third project. There's also supposedly Timothée Chalamet is going to be playing it's some musical biopic. Like music biopic that Timothée Chalamet is attached to. So that's a third one. And then now this is a fourth one that Luca Guadagnino has announced called Challengers. It's a romantic drama starring Zendaya and Mike Feist of West Side Story as a couple. Okay, Twitter is going to absolutely lose their mind with this film. And also Josh O'Connor, who I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. But like, okay. I mean, he's a good director, Luca Guadagnino. I don't know how he's going to make like 4 movies in 3 years, but like, he's a good director. I trust him. I don't know. He keeps on announcing stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he drops out of 1 or 2 of them. Even maybe he's signing himself on, getting a taste of the options that he has, and then drops out of a few. Fair enough if he's doing that,
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't end up being the one credited for directing all of them.
Yeah, maybe just staying on as like a producer potentially, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see. We'll see. But
we'll see.
This cast is very good. Mike Feist and Zendaya, 2 of the biggest up and comers in the acting industry. So that'll be fun. I'm here for this. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right. Next up. So, there's Tom Hanks is in a film called A Man Called Otto. It's sold to Sony for I think like $60 million is what I saw. Massive price tag on this one. It's directed by Mark Forster. The big thing here is it's written by 2-time Oscar nominee David Magee. Are you familiar with his 2 Oscar nominations?
I'm not. No.
He wrote both Finding Neverland and Life of Pi.
Okay.
So, 2 nominations behind him. This was a big bidding war. It's based on a novel, a critically acclaimed novel called A Man Called Ove. They changed it to Otto for some reason. So it hasn't even started shooting yet. It's going to start principal photography later this month. But yeah, Mark Forster. So it's an adaptation of a... Okay, this is convoluted. So it's an adaptation of a novel, A Man Called Ove. And then it's a Swedish novel. And then that Swedish film there's a film based on the novel that was a Swedish film. and that was nominated for 2 Oscars a couple of years ago. In 2016, International Feature and Makeup and Hair.
Okay.
So it is a remake of a recent International Feature nominee.
Right. Okay. That
was a very convoluted way to get around that. But yeah, Mark Forster, not the best of directors. He did like World War Z and stuff. But a good writer behind it. The Oscars already liked it. It's Tom Hanks. So I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't want to see us rewarding people for just remaking foreign films. But
no.
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
sure.
I mean, technically, Coda is rewarding people for remaking a foreign film, but that's a special case because they did change a lot, and that film is 100 times better than the original. So that's a different case.
Like, it doesn't matter again if it's like good, but like they changed a lot about that movie.
They did.
I mean, just like even like the setting of Coda means so much to it, like with like the boats and stuff, and that there was nothing like about that in the original French film. So
no, they sold cheese instead, which
yeah,
because it's set in France. Apparently, that's what everyone does.
But no, like they changed quite a bit about the entire narrative too. So
yeah.
I think that's fine, but like just a straight adaptation, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping. The Another Round remake isn't. I really hope it's not just a remake. I'll be angry at that film.
Yeah, I'll be mad even if they do change a lot. I'll be so mad if DiCaprio gets nominated because you should have nominated Mads Mikkelsen. You should have nominated Mads. Don't nominate DiCaprio for just pretending to be Mads Mikkelsen. Like,
no.
It's a crime that Mads doesn't have an Oscar.
He doesn't have an Oscar. Oh, that is a shame. That is a massive shame.
Yeah. Has he even been nominated? He's surely been nominated, right?
He must have been.
I don't believe so. No, he's never been nominated for an Oscar.
Well, that should change. That needs to change.
Like, oh my God, yeah. No, I mean, even like The Hunt, he should have been nominated for.
Oh, The Hunt was a brilliant film.
Yeah, Matt, we need to get Matt at least a nomination. At least.
Yeah.
Like, yes. This is sad. All right, moving on to some happier stuff. Blonde might come out. So we heard news a couple of months ago that it was going to premiere at Berlin. Well, Berlin's happening right now. Berlin Film Festival. It's not there. Sandra Dominic said that they're submitting it to the Cannes Film Festival to premiere out of competition, so it won't be competing for the Palme d'Or. So maybe we'll see this movie come out because this was supposed to be last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. This could be a contender for Ana de Armas. As you heard, it is, I believe, going to be rated NC-17. Or I believe the British equivalent is X, right?
Probably 18, I'd say.
Or 18. Or sorry, no, it's like the X rating. NC-17, same thing in America. So I guess that'd just be 18. Do you guys have anything higher than 18?
I think X rating and 18 are the same. I don't even think X rating is an official thing here, but
okay.
So yeah, I'd say 18.
I'd always perceived it as like R was like 18.
No, R's a weird one. The rating systems are weird. R is, I guess you would call that 15.
Okay, because here you have to be 17 to see an R-rated film.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because like Scream was like rated R this year, and like Jackass Forever.
Okay, they were both rated 18 here though.
Okay.
I think R is split. I remember the first Venom, I believe, was rated R, but that was not rated 18. That was rated 15 for sure.
No, the first Venom was PG-13. The first
Venom was
PG-13.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know what the equivalent is for X. Sorry, we're boring everyone.
I don't think there is agreement, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's going to be rated very highly. I don't know how they're going to restrict that on Netflix though, because this is going to be a Netflix original. So like, I
Yeah, they're just not gonna rate it. Yeah.
But yeah, Oscars traditionally haven't been particularly friendly. I believe the last time an X-rated film won was Midnight Cowboy in 1969. So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
But
just a little bit,
who knows?
Just the first moon landings,
Yeah. Maybe this is the one though. I mean, Ana de Armas was a massive role for her. I would love to see Ana de Armas get attention because she's a very good actress. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be fun to see her get some attention. All right. Last couple of pieces of news here before we get into trailers. Kingsley Benadir is going to play reggae legend Bob Marley in a biopic from King Richard director Reinaldo Marcus Green. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a year-long search to find Kingsley Benadir. He was robbed of a nomination for One Night in Miami, which was like his breakthrough role. He should have been nominated.
Yeah, he should have been.
This is gonna be big, everybody. Bob Marley is like he's such a character to get into. And like, there's gonna be like some musical numbers, Bob Marley's gonna like, say a bunch of inspirational stuff, and we're all going, Kingsley Benadir is amazing, and then we're gonna give him an Oscar, please.
Yeah, I mean, Kingsley Benadir plus the King Richard director. It's fair to say I'm not worried about a thing.
Yeah.
With this film, that's a little pun there for the viewers at home.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You see what I did there? I've been thinking about that one for a long time, actually. Ever since I read that news story, I was like, I'm gonna make that into a joke. But no, in all seriousness, King Richard, loved that film. Kingsley Benadir, love him as an actor. Bob Marley seemed like a great guy, a great guy, So this should be a good film. There's not much it can go wrong.
I mean, I didn't love King Richard as much as you, but I still really liked it. Reinaldo Marcus Green, it'll be interesting to see if he puts more of a personal stamp on this one, because King Richard didn't have that much of a style.
No, which I mean,
but like, we'll see. Regardless, Kingsley Benadir is going to knock this out of the park. Like, I'm not typically excited for musical biopics, but like anything for Kingsley Benadir.
Yeah.
He was incredible. Cannot wait for this. Something that I will be willing to wait for, and I wish that will never happen, is the Oscars fan favorite, which was just announced probably because people were crying that Spider-Man wasn't nominated for Best Picture. And then including Kevin Smith for some reason. He was like, okay. But like, Twitter is going to get to vote on the Oscars fan favorite. I don't think they're presenting an actual statue for this, but it's going to be a part of the show, and they're going to hand out the Oscars fan favorite award as voted on by Twitter.
Yeah, people's choice.
Oh, this is so desperate. This is so stupidly desperate.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, I know you're gonna probably read out the options that you have, the favorites, I guess. But is there any way No Way Home doesn't win this?
So
I doubt it.
I scrolled through. I have no life. I scrolled through Twitter for about an hour and counted up the mentions that I saw, and there's 6 pretty clear frontrunners.
Mm-hmm.
So there was. I will say. I will throw out. So Jai Bhim, which is like an Indian film, has been getting a lot of mentions, but I believe that it isn't eligible.
Okay.
Most of the votes are coming from India, and only people from America are allowed to vote on this because, as the Oscars proclaimed, we're incredibly inclusive. So, but the 6 biggest mentions, number 6 was Malignant.
Okay. Good start.
Number 5 was The Suicide Squad.
Yep. Love to see that one get an Oscar.
Number 4 was Tick Tick Boom, which I'd be fine with that.
Redemption.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Number 3 is House of Gucci. All the Lady Gaga stands coming to play.
Yep. Yeah.
Number 2 was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Number 2. Okay.
And the most mentioned film was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's probably a good thing they didn't let people outside the US vote. I mean, I wouldn't have voted properly. I would have wasted my vote on someone like I'd probably gone with Hazel Vat. I reckon that's one I would have gone for.
I know the Oscar expert, I believe he put it on Twitter. He's voting for the Kissing Booth 3. So
yeah. So, but no, I don't see a world in which Spider-Man. This is just an attempt to get Spider-Man No Way Home in the Oscars somewhere at some point, because it's not going to win visual effects. So,
no.
You know, they want to say Spider-Man No Way Home. Thank you. Here's your People's Choice voted award.
Yeah. I hope this doesn't stick around. They're also doing the biggest cheer moment.
Okay.
That's another thing that's getting voted on by people. The most voted for thing that I could find, there's no official numbers, obviously, but the most thing that I can find is Flash turning back time to save the Justice League.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of Zack Snyder Justice League love, clearly. I would expect it to be Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Or Andrew Garfield, or Garfield saving Zendaya.
One of those. Yeah.
But I don't know. Quite honestly, here's my little conspiracy theory. I don't think that the votes matter, and I legitimately just think they're going to give both awards to Spider-Man No Way Home, no matter what.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, they can do that because I guess no one's paying to vote. Like in reality TV shows, often you think, oh, these are a bit fake, but then a lot of times you have to pay to vote, so that would be very fraudulent, and they would get in lots of trouble for doing that. But if you don't even have to pay to vote, these votes are going to be meaningless. And
and nobody's like, there's no official numbers. This is just for me scrolling through Twitter and counting how many times I saw something. So like,
So
I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to give an excuse to do Spider-Man No Way Home. I've formed a coalition on Twitter. I'm voting for Titan for everything. You can vote up to 20 times a day. I will be doing that for Titan, even though the votes do not matter. But how funny would it be if it's People's Choice and Titan wins?
Yes, that would be. That would not happen because
it would not.
People like watching Spider-Man and Batman and
Yeah, I love. We'll bring up the Oscar expert again. So you have to give a reason for why you picked your favorite cheer moment.
Okay.
So he picked. I won't.
Can you just say because I cheered?
No,
that's a reason.
I won't spoil the moment from Titan, but his reasoning was because you forgot to nominate the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Very here for. Anyways, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Spider-Man No Way Home, and House of Gucci were the three big ones. Then Tick Tick Boom, The Suicide Squad, and Malignant were like the next level. So
okay.
I don't know. I would love to see Tick Tick Boom happen. If like
I mean,
6 contenders, that's my favorite.
I mean, I did adore Spider-Man No Way Home, but Tick Tick Boom would be second probably.
I just like, and don't get me wrong, like I've been saying a lot of negative things about Spider-Man on Twitter. I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. I just hate that we made an award just so Spider-Man fans can like not cry.
Yeah. But there we go. There we go.
So I don't know.
It's what it is.
Want to talk about some trailers?
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about Men. So Men, new film from Alex Garland, starring Academy Award nominee Jessie Buckley. Didn't love her in The Lost Daughter, but I see this as an apology for not nominating her for I'm Thinking of Ending Things. So that's retroactively what I'm saying. To myself.
Okay.
Same thing for Jesse Plemons. This is an apology for I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh, okay, right, fair enough. Maybe.
But Men, we didn't get. Sorry, this title. It's gonna be very hard to talk about this. Feel like I'm addressing somebody. Men. We didn't get that much, but in Alex Garland we trust. In A24 we trust.
Also, nothing scarier to me than like a church at night. That imagery is just terrifying. Always scared me. Churches at night. Something about them. So the trailer's perfectly creepy, I guess.
The apples.
The apples falling, get that more great imagery. Yeah, I mean it gives nothing away. The title itself gives nothing away.
Yeah.
But A24 always do good trailers though. They know how to they've mastered the art of trailers.
They do have some pretty good trailers. So Alex Garland, no nominations for Annihilation, I believe, but did pick up a screenplay nom and one visual effects for Ex Machina. This seems to be leaning more into the horror element than the sci-fi element. Horror, as we know, not the Oscars' favorite genre. So I don't know if we will see this happen at the Oscars or any award ceremony. It's getting a May release date, so I'm not feeling too confident in it. But I'm more so just very excited about this movie because, like, I loved Ex Machina. I think I liked Annihilation a lot more than you did because I
didn't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did quite enjoy it. It wasn't a film that really appealed to me, but
So excited to see what Buckley can do as well because he's having a bit of a rise. Should we talk about more scary things?
Okay, yeah. We're going to talk about the Jurassic World trailer, right? No.
Nope, we are not. But we are going to talk about Jordan Peele's Nope. That was my joke of the day. Thank you for coming.
That was your joke of the day.
Me at the comedy club. All right. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Wikipedia describes this as a neo-Western science fiction horror film, which sounds very interesting. Yeah. Neo-Western science fiction horror film.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. I mean, it gives me similar vibes to Signs. I know people have made those parallels, and I quite enjoyed Signs.
I love how
I do hope. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I love how he's like Peele keeps on taking like horror tropes and turning them on their head. Like with Get Out, it almost was like a haunted house trope, but he flipped that on his head. With Us, he took like the doppelganger trope, flipping that on his head. With this, it looks like he's like taking like flying saucer aliens and turning that trope on its head. Like he's just taking like these like classic, almost like cheesy horror tropes and just doing so much with them. And like this cast, Daniel Kaluuya looks like, I don't know what he's doing. It's great though. Stephen Yeun is wearing a cowboy hat. That's all I need. KK Palmer also. I didn't love her. I didn't love her film Alice at Sundance, but she was very, very good in it, and she looks very, very good in this. I love like the contrast between like her like charisma and Daniel Kaluuya is just like, I don't know what he's doing, but I love it. It's like, oh, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little disappointed it is Aliens, but only because Jordan Peele is so good at doing like human horror. That's not a dig against this film. It's just, we don't get to see Jordan Peele do more human horror, but we get to see him do something else, which I'm sure he is just as good at directing. This trailer was actually genuinely scary. Like, how can you make a title card, or when it says Jordan Peele presents, how can you make that scary? Well, they managed to do it. Just by leaving it, making it come on uncomfortably slowly, just sort of lowering down from Jordan Peele. Brilliant trailer.
Yeah. People say this is coming out in June. It doesn't matter. Get Out came out in February. So Us didn't get any noms.
No.
Get Out was nominated.
Us wasn't brilliant, so I don't know if it really deserved nomination.
I still really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as Get Out though, but Get Out got picture, director, actor, and it won screenplay. It won it.
Yeah,
it won for a February film that came out. A February horror film, also like Silence of the Lambs, another February horror film that won screenplay. But like, I don't know. I think that this has a shot for like. I mean, I think visual effects could happen. This looks like it seriously have visual effects potential. We'll see how much he does with the alien. Cinematography, which I think Get Out should have been nominated for. This has potential.
There's potential.
Editing, has potential. Any one of the performances, particularly Kaluuya or KK Palmer. I mean, screenplay. Director. Like normally we wouldn't be saying this about a horror film, but Jordan Peele's in the club. He's an Oscar winner.
Yeah. So there's potential. There's definitely potential for this film.
If you had to pick one category that you like, if you have to lock it into a nomination, which one are you going for?
Ooh. Screenplay, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm going with original screenplay as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is the job of a trailer to get you very excited for a film. This was when it was on my radar. I was excited about it, but I wouldn't say I was like very anticipating it. Now, shot up my watch list, really has.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best trailers I've ever seen. Like, it's
up
great.
There. It's up there.
I mean, also the fact that we get films from Robert Eggers, Jordan Peele, and Ari Aster in the same year. Yeah. Like, we had it with 2019. We had them all give us films in the same year, and then they reconvened again and said, "Here you go, film lovers. Here, we'll treat you."
They're on sort of a timetable. So, I guess in 2025 we're gonna get 3 more.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I love this. I love this so much. I'm so excited for this. Okay, here's another fun question, and we will get into actual questions later. But like, out of the 3 films, Disappointment Boulevard, Nope, and The Northman, which one do you think has the best potential to get a Best Picture nomination?
Nope, I would say easily Nope. I mean,
I would go Disappointment Boulevard, even though we haven't seen anything for it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd say Jordan Peele is definitely the most in the club out of all 3 of them.
Wait,
I mean,
when did I miss that? Wait, is this real? What? Sorry, Google says that Meryl Streep is going to be in Disappointment Boulevard.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things somewhat because we know the Oscars love Meryl Streep.
Wikipedia listed too. Meryl Streep is going to be in Disappointment Boulevard.
Wow. Okay.
Meryl Streep's going to be in an A24 movie, Thomas. Meryl Streep's going to be in an A24 movie.
That is big. Yes.
Anyways, sorry, I'm derailing the conversation, but yeah.
But no, I'd say it would be between Disappointment Boulevard and Nope. As I say, The Northman is not a Best Picture movie. Maybe production design, maybe costumes, not Best Picture.
Yeah. So it's this. I know. I feel like Disappointment Boulevard's the most Oscars friendly. Weirdly enough, even though it's Ari Aster, it's been described as a comedy thriller. As an intimate, decade-spanning portrait of one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time, Joaquin Phoenix starring. Now Meryl Streep's in the supporting role. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not a horror film, there's a lot more potential, I think.
To be fair, The Northman's not a horror film.
Yeah, that is true. But equally, I just don't see The Northman getting it.
I'm a bit more confident in it than you are. I'm a bit more confident in it. Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
Can I just say nope to this movie? Yeah. I don't.
Yep.
I don't care.
So done with this franchise in general. I mean, it doesn't have Oscar chances. Seeing Dan, Sam Neill, and Goldblum, it just does not excite me as someone who doesn't hold much nostalgia towards the original Jurassic Park.
Right.
And it also
I like it. I like the original Jurassic Park.
Yeah, exactly. I like the original, but it's not like my favorite film ever. And also, did they forget the film? But the films before were called Jurassic Park. Like, they're meant to be set at a theme park with dinosaurs. This just is not that. Like, they're out in the real world now. It just looks silly.
Yeah. I don't really like. I mean, okay. I love Jeff Goldblum. He is such an interesting person, and hearing him talk is just very fun. And that's about all I'm excited. I'm excited that I get to hear Jeff Goldblum talk. I don't really care about seeing the cast reunite. I don't know. I don't care. Jurassic Park does have a history with the Oscars. The original Jurassic Park film won both sound categories, and visual effects picked up 3 wins. And then the second one, The Lost World Jurassic Park, got a visual effects nom. No nominations for the franchise since then. That was 1997. This modern iteration hasn't picked up a single nomination. The Jurassic World reboot series, I guess. I don't see it getting anything unless they do something like crazy with the visual effects in its weak year.
I honestly, at this point, don't see the film being good. I think this is a film destined to be
was any of the Jurassic Park films good? Or the Jurassic World films?
I mean, no. Jurassic World was like okay. Fallen Kingdom, if you shut your mind off completely, I'm talking completely shut your mind off, you can have an okay time with it.
Yeah.
And this one, no, nope. So
Yeah.
sweet.
I don't even know if I was gonna say I don't know if I'll see it. I'm definitely seeing it because I'll
You will
probably
definitely.
review
You
it.
saw. Yes, you will definitely watch it.
I watch everything, sadly.
Exactly.
You find some fun stuff. But yeah. Okay, and then lastly we had a Super Bowl trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So you're welcome for your visual effects nomination. I mean,
Yep.
oh my god. They're doing some
Yes.
crazy stuff.
Yes, they are doing some crazy stuff. I do sometimes fear though that the visual effects category is on like a sort of curve. So little visual effects, you've got a bit of a chance. Perfect amount of visual effects you're in. Too many visual effects, you just go downhill.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they would prefer great visual effects but less of them rather than just the most visual effects. Visual effects isn't really unlike sound, which just goes for most sound, best
editing,
sound. Visual effects or editing as well. Most editing, best editing. Visual effects category doesn't tend to do that. So if they're a bit shaky, I don't know. We could see it be snubbed, but it doesn't look
Garland,
shaky.
though, like Ex Machina won visual effects over Star Wars and Mad Max. So
yeah, exactly.
Because they had better visual effects. Like Ex Machina had better visual effects, even though it was less of them. So but like it's a good. Okay, I do want to shut down this thing that's on Twitter of people saying that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to get nominated because he's playing two different characters. That's not how it works. Okay,
No, Mahershala Ali's not been nominated.
Playing Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
you don't get an Oscar nomination for playing Doctor Stephen Strange.
No, you don't. Especially since his accent as well. Unless it's like improved tenfold, it's gonna be dodgy. Still, it's gonna be dodgy.
Bad. Like, I mean, Power of the Dog was definitely his best accent work.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's not gonna happen. People also said cinematography, and it's like, no, it's getting the visual effects at most.
No. I mean, okay, so this trailer in general, I did appreciate how its main job, and it knew its main job was to get you excited about this film. Spider-Man No Way Home trailers was not a massive fan of. They were selling you on the cameos, not the intrigue of the actual film. Whereas this one, I think it's got the cameos there. I mean, Patrick Stewart, but it's getting you excited about the film first and foremost. I also like the fact that it should be a horror film. It looks like it's going to be a horror film, and that is exactly what I want. I want a horror film with weird and wacky things, hijinks happening. I want it to be a horror film because Raimi he's a good horror director. So you know, yeah.
No,
and my main problem with Doctor Strange 1 was how generic it was.
Yeah,
this doesn't look generic.
No, this seems like the Doctor Strange that I would have liked to have seen with the first one, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the original Doctor Strange. I don't dislike it, but I think it's just okay. This looks good. I'm legitimately excited about this. As you said, Patrick Stewart. Let's see. We have K Stew. Is he P Stew?
P Stew. Yeah. P Stew.
Patty Stew.
Patty Stew.
But yeah, no. For Oscar nominations, this is getting visual effects, maybe sound at most.
I mean,
could completely miss.
No Way Home didn't get sound, so
right.
I don't see this being bigger than No Way Home.
Yeah, but we'll see. I'm excited for it. It's sneaking up on us 3 months.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get into some new releases?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I have them kind of vaguely in an order.
Right.
So I'll kick off. There's 3 that I don't have that much to say about. So let's kick it off with Kimi. This is Steven Soderbergh's latest film on HBO Max. It's about it's Zoe Kravitz. It's about an agoraphobic tech worker during COVID. So first of all, I don't know why she had to be agoraphobic, and it was during COVID. Feels a bit risky. But no, so she works as she works for like an artificial intelligence company. So it's like, you have like, the Google House thing, or like Amazon Echo or whatever, like all those things, Google Dot, like all of those things, like where you like speak to it, and then it's that. So then the Kimi thing is basically you go like, hey Kimi, you ask it a question, you can talk with it, whatever. But they have like live people monitoring the conversation, so that way they can fix like the breaks in like machine logic.
Okay.
So she, because we have to have a movie, heard a crime committed.
Ooh,
And
ooh,
then she
okay.
has to like venture out of her house and like talk to people about it. And then there's a twist at the end, which was incredibly obvious about who the person behind the crime was. Oh no. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Soderbergh. I didn't like No Sudden Move last year. I don't know. I don't think he's that good of a director. I'm sorry. I think that the Ocean's trilogy kind of thrived off of the screenplay and not his direction. Just personally, I don't know. Zoe Kravitz is good. The movie's worth watching, I guess, for her.
Mm,
But yeah, I don't know. I just found it boring, and it's predictable, and it's dumb in its like in its premise. Like
right. Yeah.
it's not the smartest film, and it thinks it's being smart and like trying to say something about like, technology monitoring our lives. Yet like that's the job of our main character, and she's rewarded for monitoring people by solving a crime.
Right.
And it's
Okay.
like I don't know. I didn't like it that much. There's some fun editing, the cinematography, there's some interesting stuff when they go outside to make it feel like very strange, which is fun. The score was okay. Zoe Kravitz was
Mm,
good, but like
right.
eh, eh. Um awards potential, none. I'm sorry. I don't understand why people are like liking this movie. I don't really get it.
Mm.
Um it's got like an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes, a 77 on
Oh.
Metacritic. So
Okay. So they are like then.
people are liking it. I don't understand why people are liking it, but I encourage you to check the film out for yourself. Um, if you're scared of the runtime, Google says it's 2 hours and 29 minutes. It's actually 1 hour and 29 minutes. So it's a
Okay.
it's a brisk watch.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't. It wasn't for me, but you can check it out
I
if you
mean,
like.
the first three Google reviews are 1 star each, so some
Yep.
people are liking it, some people aren't.
Yeah, I'm just not the biggest Soderbergh fan. Another thing, these first thing I'm going to be very, very negative. Jackass Forever. I don't understand why people love this. Letterboxd has this at a 4.0.
Okay.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how this franchise is appealing. It's like it's at an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, why? Why? We're just seeing like adult men do dumb things that aren't that entertaining. Like, I don't understand. I guess this just isn't my style of humor. Like watching like I don't know. It just this just doesn't work for me at all. Like I don't understand why people get joy out of seeing like a 50-year-old man get his penis stung by a bee. Like why is that enjoyable?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's just
Yeah, I've never been a fan of any of the Jackass films. I don't plan on watching this one.
I don't know. Like there was some fun like moments where it's like, oh, they're like harkening back to like moments of old, and like we're seeing these friends get back together, and then it's just like dumb. Like this movie is the epitome of stupidity,
Right.
and
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I didn't see it as like an escape from the stupidity in the world. I just saw it as like more stupidity, and
Okay.
I
Okay.
I didn't get it. Not in the way that Christopher Nolan fans will say that you didn't get Tenet. I don't it really was not for me at all. Um it's eligible for best documentary, I guess, at the Oscars. There's been conversation about that. It's not. I don't know. I like Jackass is, I guess, like in the Oscars club because they nominated Jackass Presents Dirty Grandpa for makeup and hair.
Yeah.
So like, I guess it's kind of in the club, but I really don't.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it.
I don't. I That would be so weird if this got a documentary nomination. But who knows? People love this movie for some reason. What's this Metacritic? Its Metacritic was like way too high.
Yeah. Also, Kimi, 90% critics, 52% audiences. So
yeah,
if you want to talk about films that critics like, audience don't, that's a very egregious
it's weird because
example.
I when there's a big disparity, I'm usually aligning with the critics, like on Spencer, which had a big
Yeah.
disparity. But yeah, Jackass Forever, yeah, it has a 74 on Metacritic, which is like pretty decent. That's like what Dune got. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
wasn't for me.
It's a thing. Yeah, but I don't plan on seeing it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then lastly, Moonfall. I tweeted about this that I think this film is genius because it makes you lose so many brain cells while you're watching it that it's hard to actually compute thought about the film afterwards. It's like
Yeah.
the first act makes absolutely no sense. Like they're just like things are just happening and we're just told to care about them. But we don't.
You don't.
Like you just don't. But we're supposed to because things are happening and we're watching them. And then the second act actually felt like a legitimately decent disaster film. I have a soft spot for like disaster movies, like Greenland. I liked from a couple of years ago with Gerard Butler.
Yeah,
like,
I quite like Greenland, to be fair.
It was enjoyable. Like I don't know. I have a soft spot for like end of the world disaster movies. I find them fun. And then the final act is just, I don't know who thought that. I won't spoil it for anybody because somebody will probably like this, but I don't know who thought that having the final act happen was a good idea. There's like I don't know. Also, I will say, Thomas, the underlying theme and message of this film is that we should listen to conspiracy theorists because they might be right and they could actually save the day.
Okay.
Because
I mean, that is a very similar one to the one in Godzilla versus Kong. I will say that is the message of that film. But no, okay, yeah.
But at least Godzilla vs. Kong had two big monsters punching each other.
I just did not like Godzilla vs. Kong. But anyway, no.
I didn't hate it, but yeah, no. But this is like very aggressive. Like he's just like they have like he's like the main character. He has like meetings with like other conspiracy theory friends about how like aliens like invented the moon or whatever, and then like they like he like presents data in an ass, and they're like, "Oh, I guess you're right," and then they have to go and like save the moon. Like I just Roland Emmerich is a terrible director. He's just awful.
I mean, yeah, the problem is I really enjoy Independence Day. Really enjoy Day After Tomorrow. Everything else is bad. Like those I gave 4 stars on Letterboxd. The next one is Godzilla, which I gave 2 stars. That's the next highest. So that should tell you something.
I mean, I don't hate The Patriot, I guess.
I've not seen The Patriot. I've not seen Stargate either. Which apparently that was like okay.
Either of those, they're both okay. But like, I don't know. Yuck. This is it's just I don't know. It was only $5. Okay. Let's talk about something we both saw though. Let's talk about Death on the Nile. Yeah, we'll talk about the movie later in comparison to Murder on the Orient Express, but later with one of the questions. I enjoyed this movie. I had a fun time.
I enjoyed it to an extent.
Yes, I didn't love it.
A fair few problems with it.
The first hour is very boring.
Yeah. And then the second hour is too quick. It moves too quickly.
Yeah.
The pacing is bad. Very bad pacing.
Oh, yeah. No, the first hour is incredibly slow. The second hour is incredibly fast. I wish so.
Yeah.
The opening sequence is like a war film in like black and white, and everything's in French. And I wish the entire movie was just like black and white and in French, because that would have been very funny. If like the entire thing, like all the marketing was off, and it's actually just like an art
Yeah.
house film, like
Yes.
about like
Yeah.
war.
Hmm.
I will
Yeah.
say,
Well,
like,
yes.
I'm not saying okay. I didn't like want that to happen. I just think it would have been very funny.
It would have been funny.
But yeah, no, I will say the cinematography, especially in the black and white sequence at the start, but like throughout the entire thing, the cinematography was quite good.
Yeah,
Like,
the cinematography was quite. I thought Brandon directed the film fairly
yeah,
decently, actually. I
like,
mean, which shouldn't be surprising considering he's a Best Director nominated director, but still, I thought it was surprising how well he directed it. They didn't need to give the moustache an origin story. That was silly.
yeah,
You know,
I didn't.
yeah.
And like, Pro had like
I
a
also
romance
just
subplot,
yeah.
and I didn't care
Yeah,
about it.
I also just don't think the source material itself, because I'm very familiar with the source material. I've read the book,
Okay,
I've seen the original
I have not.
film. You know, I would call myself a big Agatha Christie fan. It's not her best work. I don't know why it's one of her more popular ones, but it is. And yeah, I mean, they didn't do a bad job with it, but I did think they did a pretty poor job disguising the twist and disguising who was actually the murderer. I thought, even from somebody like who knew who the murderer was going in, I thought it felt a bit obvious who it
So
was.
I felt like one of the. Oh, how am I still going to get into spoilers? There was minor spoilers for Death on the Nile. Minor spoilers. There's okay, so there's two people. I felt like
Yeah.
one of them
Mhm.
was obvious, and then the second one that's revealed later, like the second one to be revealed, was
Yeah.
a bit less obvious. I felt like that was actually done fairly well. Again, this is coming from someone who was not familiar with the book, because
Okay.
like
So
in like Murder in the Orient Express, I felt like was very obvious. I guess Murder in the Orient Express, I felt was like the twist in that, and like the reveal of like who the who is the murderer. Like that was very obvious to me.
yeah, I mean, I think
Um,
both were the actual mystery itself have not been handled great by
I think
these
they're
films.
okay. I think they're
I
okay.
think they're okay, but I think if whereas Knives Out, look at Knives Out.
Yo, well, I mean,
Who
you can compare
who knew it
any
was him
film to Knives
exactly?
Out. Like
Yeah, yeah,
Knives Out, maybe the best mystery film.
maybe. I mean, I hold a lot of love for Clue, a lot of nostalgia towards Clue. So
I
it's not a good film, but just
yeah,
love Clue, love
I
Clue.
like Clue. I watched it more recently. I don't think it's better than Knives Out. But like I enjoyed it. But no,
Yeah,
Knives Out's one of my favorite screenplays ever.
yeah,
It's really brilliantly written. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't hate this movie. Thought the production design and costumes were actually very good as well. Like
mm,
from a technical standpoint, it's good. There's just too many subplots. There's like a secondary like case that he's on throughout the first hour that isn't really alluded to, and then we're just told that it happened. Where
yeah,
had to spy on people to see if like they could get married or whatever. And it's like I I don't care. One,
yeah.
and also it was like set up so poorly, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem with a lot of Agatha Christie work. They do tend to have a lot going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a. I had enough fun with it that it wasn't a bad experience watching it. I
No.
just think it was,
I mean
you know,
Brenda's
not the
Poirot is
greatest.
great. Brenda's Poirot is great.
Oh, Brandon's
Um
great, and the cast actually. We should probably talk about the cast since it's
yeah.
very big. I thought very hit and miss. I thought Russell Brand, and Emma Mackey,
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce her name. They were brilliant. Branagh
They were
himself
very
was
good.
brilliant. Gal Gadot's not the greatest actress in the world.
Okay. Anybody I saw something on Twitter, and it was like anybody who thinks that Gal Gadot is a good actress is just very horny. And yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not a good actress.
Um
Armie Hammer's tainted, to say the least.
well,
His
she's Mr.
performance is
Cannonball on
tainted.
screen.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So the cast was hit and miss. The cast was hit and miss. A lot more so. Actually, I won't. I'll save that point for the discussion later.
Yes.
Between Murder on the Orient Express and Definitely Not.
Yeah. I thought Tom Bateman and Letitia Wright were also both decent. They were decent.
Fine. They were fine. Okay. They were decent. I would stretch it to decent.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad.
They weren't bad. They weren't bad.
As like Gal Gadot. There's also I don't know if it's real or not, but when Gal Gadot, there was like someone like was recording in the audience, and there was an audience reaction I saw. And it was like when Gal Gadot was saying like, and we have enough champagne to fill up the Nile, and like throws it across the side. The audience in that theater just like erupted with cheering. They're like,
okay.
It was very funny. Yeah. If I can, I'll show it to you after the show if I can find it. It's very, very funny. Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. It isn't the best. It isn't the most well-made film ever. There are some fun technical elements, some fun performances. It was fine. It was fine to good.
Yeah.
I put it at. Yeah. I guess I should say my scores for the other ones. I'll save that. I'll put this at a 7 out of 10.
I put it at 6, probably 6 out of 10.
All right. How do we feel about awards potential? Because Murder on the Orient Express was snubbed for production design. It got ADG and Critics' Choice for production design, and then missed the Oscar. It also got Costume Designers Guild as well, and missed the Oscar. I wouldn't be mad about a production design nomination for this.
No, costume. And it's a potential. It's a possibility. Yeah. We'll see. I guess it's going to be. I mean, it's a very early release. So
yes,
I don't know if it can maintain momentum, especially considering it's a fairly forgettable film. I don't recall when Murder on the Orient Express was released.
That was November.
I have a feeling that was November. Yeah, so I think that might be the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about an Oscar nomination again, but like maybe we could see like it show up as again like Critics' Choice, ADG, Costume Designers Guild. Maybe some of the guilds, some of the smaller televised awards might pick it up. Maybe we might see this show up. I definitely put it on like a preliminary prediction list as in contention.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Before we move on to the next ones, I guess I'll give my scores on the other ones. Kimi is a 5 out of 10. Jackass Forever is a 4, and Moonfall is a 2.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Moving on. To next we have Marry Me. I was going to sing it, and then I decided that I actually do not want to be ridiculed on the internet forever. So, this was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that this was going to be terrible.
I deliberately didn't watch this one. Films like Kimi, they just haven't released yet. I probably would have watched Kimi. This one, romantic comedy, not my thing at all. From the trailers, I'd only be going out of morbid curiosity for given how stupid the concept is, but I decided to pass on this one, funny enough.
So, yeah, like it isn't the worst thing. Like, I mean, people are mixed. It's got a 59 on Rotten Tomatoes, 62 IMDb. It isn't the worst thing. I didn't see this in the theater. I was not going to pay to see this movie. I saw it on Peacock in the US. It's got a day and date release. Owen Wilson and J-Lo have actually very good chemistry. Mm-hmm. And that is the saving grace of the film. This is the most, like, exactly where this thing is going. It's so incredibly obvious. It's telegraphed. And the initial, like, the inciting incident is dumb. It's like we all saw it in the trailer. He gets picked out of the crowd, and it's like it's dumb. After that, like it rides off of J-Lo and Owen Wilson's charisma and chemistry, and they're fun. It makes it fun enough. I don't think that this is a good movie, but like I won't deny that I enjoyed my time watching it. I didn't.
Okay.
I wasn't upset that I watched it.
Right.
So, I it was fine. Like it's probably a 6 out of 10 for me. Like
Okay. Okay.
it was okay. It was okay. Weirdly based off of a comic book. I We can move past that.
Okay.
Um, Best original song. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay.
either "Marry Me" or "On My Way." Either of
Right.
those. Jennifer Lopez is like, I don't know, she's probably gonna get nominated. Just probably.
Mm.
I mean, I'm going to be predicting this come April for our early
Okay.
prediction. Um, it just makes sense. It's Jennifer Lopez. Why would you not? Like, we saw it happen with like Beyonce, Billie Eilish. Like, I mean, yes, Ariana Grande missed, but like, if you have that kind of name, Jennifer Lopez, like, lots of Grammy nominations. I don't know why she wouldn't get. Like, it just makes sense. I think this could
Yeah.
happen. Very much think that this could happen. So yeah, didn't hate it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Speaking of rom-coms, I Want You Back is great. This,
Hmm.
like, I was not expecting a lot going into this. I'm not typically the biggest rom-com fan. This is the best rom-com in the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. It's like, again, this is another film that like, it's not the most like you know where it's going to end up, but that's I mean any rom com you typically know where it's going to end up, but the ride to get there is very very fun. Um, I mean, yeah, like it stars Charlie Day and Jenny Slate as two people who have just been dumped by their boyfriends and girlfriends respectively, and they just randomly meet because they work in like the same office building, and then they devise a plan to try and break each other's partners up. Um,
Okay.
and it's very fun. There's a lot of like it made me laugh like multiple times throughout it.
Okay.
It's a genuinely fun film. Also, one of the two of the biggest laughs for me where Pete Davidson randomly shows up about halfway through the movie for like 5 minutes,
Okay. Right.
and as like as a teenage drug dealer, and it's very funny.
Right.
It
Okay.
just it has a lot of fun with it. Like Scott Eastwood is in this as Jenny Slate's ex-boyfriend. Gina Rodriguez is Charlie Day's ex-girlfriend. It's like this has a fun cast, and like it's a very enjoyable film. It's an hour 51. It's a lot of fun. It's at an 87 on Rotten Tomatoes. It was yeah surprisingly good. It's at a 62 on Metacritic, so not as good there, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun with this. It made it into my top 10 of the year so far. Which
Mhm.
granted I've only seen like 28 movies, so that's like you know, just over the midway point. But I quite like this film. I think that it's a very very fun movie. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. It has zero awards potential, like
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
none, like at all.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I definitely recommend checking this out. Um, it I mean it won't be for everybody. Like if you don't accept just like the basic premise of you know any rom com's basic premise isn't going to be the smartest thing in the world. But if you can move past that, it's a pretty fun, enjoyable ride.
Hmm. Hmm.
I enjoyed it. Um, all right, Thomas, your turn to take the reins with Parallel Mothers.
Okay. So Parallel Mothers did surprisingly well at the Oscars. Got Cruise, Best Actress, and the Best Score.
Yeah, totally.
Neither of which are completely deserving of nominations. I wouldn't usually argue the side of French Dispatch, but I would argue the French Dispatch score is probably better than the Parallel Mother score, or at least more memorable. Whether it completely, Parallel Mother's score probably works better in terms of the movie as a whole, but which one would I rather listen to? Which one's more memorable? French Dispatch, I would argue. And Penelope Cruz, when you see a performance like Renette Reinsver in Worst Person in the World,
Yeah,
and then they do decide to go for a foreign language best actress performance, you do just wish that they went with that one because Penelope Cruz is good. I mean, of course she's good, but she isn't great. She didn't blow me away like I really wanted her to. Also, the film, it's muddled. It feels like it needs a couple redrafts and then be a great film. But it's very muddled because it's got two storylines going on. One about the mothers, and one about like archaeology and digging up a grave. And they don't gel because it's meant to be like all parallel stories here, you know, all clever, but they don't gel. They don't work together.
Okay.
And so you get to the climax of the mother's storyline, and you think, oh yeah, the film should end now. That's a great ending. And then they have another like 20 minutes or so that just completely kill me instead. And it ends on like I always hate it when they end films on like a quote. Because I mean, you know, it's to leave like an impactful message. And leave on a quote. I'm just like reading the quote and I'm thinking, I don't exactly recall what the quote was, but that had nothing to do with the movie, really. That is just an inspirational quote that just has nothing to do with the movie. So yeah, the archaeology storyline just did not get the time it needs, and so it's just boring. It's a plain boring storyline. It thinks it's cleverer than it is. It thinks it's making an important message. It isn't because it isn't given enough time. There may have been like a cut of this film that extended this storyline, potentially. That's my only theory because it just feels like it's non-existent, and when it does exist, it kills the pace dead. Having said that, it's directed quite well. And the one who plays, I don't know the actress's name, but the one who plays the other mother, so not Penelope Cruz, the other mother, it's actually very, very good. I thought she was brilliant. There is a twist in it that is so unbelievably obvious that I genuinely don't know if it's meant to be a twist or not. Like, so unbelievably obvious. So yeah, it's a disappointing film because I feel like just a few tweaks, a few minor fixes, and it would have been a great film. But as it stands, there's just too many problems to make it a really satisfying experience. So I'd probably go for 5 out of 10. I'd say maybe 6 out of 10, 5 or 6, because they're just the pacing's all off because it doesn't work really as a film. It doesn't work as a film.
Almodovar has like such a distinct style, and it's very hit or miss for me. Like with Pain and Glory, I really liked some parts of Pain and Glory, and like other parts just like did not connect with me at all. So I'm excited to see this for Cruz's performance alone, just to kind of round that off. I've listened to the score, and like I don't, it's good.
Yeah,
enough.
Exactly. It's decent. It's good. It just.
I would have much preferred French Dispatch to get in.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Or Spencer as well. How could I forget Spencer?
Spencer. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, ideal world, French Dispatch and Spencer get in over Encanto and Parallel Mothers, but
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Also, it's definitely a film for mothers, similar to The Lost Daughter. If you're a mother, you may get a lot more enjoyment than I did out of it.
I'm curious to see what my mom thinks of them. We're still yet to watch them in our Oscars binge, but curious. Yeah, I'm curious because I've heard Lost Daughter is like connecting very well. Or sorry, Lost Daughter's connecting very well for mothers. So I'm curious to see how that works. Parallel Mothers too. So it's I think just now coming to theaters around where I am. So I'll probably see it sometime this week.
Yeah.
All right. We each have one more. I'll go ahead and get mine out of the way. Catch the Fair One. This is a film that premiered at Sundance last year. To pretty good reviews. It's at a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes, 73 on Metacritic. I really like this film. I don't think it's great. It isn't. It's a very cold film, and it's very intentionally cold. It follows I believe it's a Native American woman she's a boxer, and her sister was like kidnapped, and she like has to chase down her sister. So basically like Taken except better. It's like it's very cold. It's very brutal. Like it's like at times shockingly brutal film. She kills some people, and it does not shy away from the brutality of how she kills these people, and the effects it takes on her. Kelly Reese, as the lead actress, is phenomenal. She's very, very good. This film was eligible for Indie Spirits last year because they count festival releases, and she was nominated for Best Actress at the Indie Spirits. So we will be seeing her potentially contending for a win in March. And I would not be mad about her winning at all. She's very good. This film is eligible for the Gotham Awards then this year. I could see a potentially 9 Days similar thing where it gets Indie Spirit and then Gotham. Maybe something similar. We've seen that happen with a couple of films. So I think that this could definitely show up at the Gotham Awards for actress. Like it could very, very much happen. Yeah, it's like I think the coldness of the film though does hurt it a little bit just because it is a bit hard to connect. Just inherently because of how cold it is. The only really draw into it is Callie Reese's performance. And even that is like a bit cold. So it's a little bit hard to get into, but it's only like an hour and 20 minutes. So it flies by anyway, and you don't feel like you're like stuck in like a dull film really for that long. It's pretty engaging. It's a very straightforward film. I mean, there's a very clear like intention of where it's supposed to go. The ending is interesting. I liked it for the most part. And then they did a weird edit, and I'm not really sure what it's supposed to mean, but I don't know. I think I liked it. I think I like the ending. Yeah. So overall, though, I definitely suggest checking it out. In the US, it's available to rent for I think $7, pretty much from anywhere: YouTube, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, wherever. Yeah, I would suggest this movie. Pretty good. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so the last film then to talk about is Boiling Point.
Yes.
And talk about a film moving at a quick pace. This film moves at a almost uncomfortably quick pace. It's a very intense film, which if you don't want an intense film going in, don't watch this film. If you don't like intense films, just don't watch it. Steer clear of it. I would usually be moaning at films for trying to do too much, but here it actually works because it adds to the whole stressful nature of everything. It's like there is so much going on. A lot of plot lines just don't get resolved. A lot of plot lines just don't get endings. And I'd usually be mad at that. I'd think, oh, that's messy storytelling. But here it actually works and enhances the whole effect of it. Because, you think about it the next day, oh, what happened to them? Oh, I want to know. What happened to them? Oh, I want to know. All the performances, and I mean every single performance was phenomenal.
Teacher, I have a question. Yes. Teacher. So this film takes place. So it's a one-shot film, and it takes place in like real time, right? So it's like
in real time. It is real time, but sometimes there's like, a minute passes, and then they go, 10 minutes ago I asked you to do this. You asked them to do that a minute ago. So it is real time, but it's not always the most accurate real time.
Got it. But that does make sense with like the unresolved storylines that like we're just seeing this glimpse into this kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially since the focus is on Stephen Graham's character. I'm not going to spoil what happens to him or anything, but yeah, it makes sense that because he wouldn't get to see everybody's lives. So the focus isn't entirely on him. It does bounce around, and here the one shot actually is incredible. Like it's really good, the one shot, because you follow one character here, and then another character comes, and you pick them up, and then you're following them around for a bit, and then so you feel that it's going to be taken on too much, but it isn't. Every performance was phenomenal. Vignette Robinson was just amazing. Stephen Graham, one of the best actors working today. Everyone is brilliant. There's one a celebrity chef who comes in. That character is so obnoxious and annoying, but he's great to watch. He is great fun to watch. And there's also a restaurant manager as well. She's just brilliant. Another really just not nice character to watch. Yeah. The ending is, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but grim. It's fair to say the ending is grim and not nice, but brilliant and very impactful and leaves you thinking about it for days. If you've ever wanted to work in a restaurant, this film will put you off, which is, maybe a positive, maybe a negative. This film is just, brilliant. If you can tell, I was in love with this film. This film is and it's 1 hour 29. It's not an easy watch, but it's one that you really just get invested into this world, and it all feels very realistic as well. Like, I've never worked in a restaurant, but it all just feels very realistic. Like, these sorts of stuff will happen. Very stressful, will get your heart rate pumping, and brilliant film.
It's been on my radar for a while.
It should be getting.
Yeah, no, it's been on my radar for a while, and I'm very excited to see it. It's, I think, $4 to rent on Prime Video in the US.
So definitely recommend it for that.
Yeah, it's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like,
so,
and it's picked up quite a bit of nominations. So at the BAFTAs, it was nominated for Best British Film. Stephen Graham got a Best Actor nom, Best Casting nomination, and Best Debut Best Debut Screenplay, I believe. And then the BIFAs, it crushed at the BIFAs. It won Sound, Cinematography, Casting, and Supporting Actress for Vinette Robinson. It was nominated for Director, Actor, Best British Film, Best Supporting Actor, Best Breakthrough Performance, Breakthrough Producer, and Production Design. So, lots of nominations for this film. Okay, if you got to pick one thing for it to get into at the Oscars. So retroactively, this movie can get into one category at the Oscars. What are you selecting?
Okay, can I pick Best Picture? Because if so, I would just pick Best Picture. But outside of Best Picture, because I feel that would be a more interesting conversation. Yeah. I'd say probably Vinette Robinson for Best Supporting Actress. I think it would be between her and Stephen Graham. But I would say the time she is given and the impact she has, I'd say Vinette Robinson.
Okay, nice. What is your score out of 10?
Probably it's going to be 10. It's going to be 10,
10 out of 10. Nice.
I there's no faults I have with it. There is genuinely not a single fault I have with it.
Nice. Well, definitely then a big recommendation. From this. For everybody, go check it out. I probably will be. All right. Let's get into some questions. Got through all of the reviews. That was a lot. Next weekend we have Uncharted. So
yay.
There's also Dog, the Channing Tatum thing. I will say we're already almost at 2 hours, so I feel fine derailing just a little bit. During the Olympics, there's been a couple of fun reads of trailers. So at the end of the Dog trailer, it was like showing in theaters this Friday. No, the dog doesn't die. Rated PG-13. It's quite fun. And then for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it was in theaters April 22nd. Rated R. Just kidding. Rated PG. Having a bit of fun with the trailers.
Having a little fun with the trailers, yeah.
Which I think we should do more of. All right, let's get into some questions. Just grab these from Reddit. If you would like to send in a question that we can answer to, not that you probably will, but you can just leave a comment on this video, and we'll try to answer it in the next Oscar buzz. So I don't know, you can do that if you want. Let's get it off. Do we think that Flea will win an Oscar? Do we think it has a chance to take it one of its three? It was the first film ever to get animated, documentary, and international. Does it have a shot to win one of them?
Well, it does not have a shot in international. No, it's definitely not even the number 2. It's number 3, behind very obviously Worst Person in the World, which got in screenplay, and Drive My Car, which got in screenplay, picture, and director. Yep. So it's no chance in international. Nope. It's got a minuscule chance in animated. I just don't see it overtaking
Encanto. And Mitchell's are stronger.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's is stronger, but Encanto is easily the strongest. I mean, it's got song, it's got score. In Encanto, it's Encanto's to lose.
So, okay, here's the thing that I want to bring up. Sorry to cut you off, but people keep saying that Encanto has the category unlocked because it got 3 nominations. Flea also got 3 nominations.
Yeah, but one is currently being a bit of an obsession with people. People are obsessed with Encanto for some reason. Right. I don't know why, but it's a thing. It's taken off. I don't see a world in which Encanto doesn't win the Oscar.
Yeah.
So that means its biggest shot is documentary. Its biggest shot is documentary for Flea, because Summer of Soul, it's not unbeatable. We've seen earlier, it was like, Flea versus Summer of Soul. documentary was always its biggest shot, really. Summer of Soul has sort of overtaken and is now clearly the definitive favourite.
Yes.
But Flea could sneak up.
Yeah.
Especially since the documentary category is prone to spoilers. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think it needs a precursor win, quite honestly, for Flea. Like,
No.
I really don't. Like, documentaries with the Oscars is just, like, you can just throw the names in a hat. Like, last year, we did see My Octopus Teacher sweep the precursors.
Mm.
But, like, I don't know. That felt like there wasn't really that strong of another contender because the other big contender got snubbed. Dick Johnson is dead. So,
yeah. I mean, people thought Time might be a possibility, but no. It was really Octopus's Teacher to lose.
Flea feels strong, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I right now, to answer the question, I'm not predicting Flea to win anything.
I'm not predicting it to win anything.
If it's going to win somewhere, it's going to be documentary. 100%. So yeah, I would like to see it win. I love the movie. It's in my top 10 of the year. So we'll see. Okay, speaking of Encanto. Can Encanto win original song? So No Time to Die is the very clear frontrunner. However, as we've been saying, Encanto, everybody's obsessed with it. Everybody loves this movie. Yeah. Have you seen the film?
I have seen the film, yeah.
Okay. I liked it.
I thought it was fine.
I didn't think that it was incredible.
No.
Like, it's a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me.
I'd put it at 7 probably. Yeah, okay. 7.
Yeah. It's like it's good. Like, I know I like I like Lin-Manuel Miranda's writing style, so that worked for me. But like, yeah, this is interesting because the big narrative here, Lin-Manuel Miranda had a great year, right?
Yeah.
We love Lin-Manuel Miranda. The other big thing behind this is if Lin takes the Oscar here, that's his EGOT.
Mm.
He has the Emmy, he has the Grammy, he has the Tony. This is it. He's a previous nominee for How Far I'll Go, Moana.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that this is possible. I would say that I have this at my number 2.
It is my number 2, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's stronger than Be Alive, especially now that Just Look Up got snubbed. I think that this is the number 2. I think that it can upset.
Yeah, I mean, earlier in the year, when you were arguing Be Alive would win over No Time to Die, you brought up some good points about why No Time to Die wouldn't win, and we can just reuse them here. It's a very old song. It came out in 2019. People have been hearing it for ages. And yeah, it could win. I mean, the narrative around Lin-Manuel Miranda's EGOT, I don't completely buy into, because this is definitely not going to be his only chance to get the Oscar win.
No, but Billie Eilish is even younger, so you could make the same argument against her, that this is not going to be her own chance.
You
could. But she's already won like 8 Grammys. So
yeah, I mean, it's my number 2. I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a shot here in Encanto. Yeah. I just think we'd be having a different conversation if this was a different song from Encanto. I don't even remember Dos Orugatas. I don't remember which song that is, to be honest.
Yeah, I will say if We Don't Talk About Bruno was submitted by Disney, I would be predicting that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
So, I mean, even if like Mi Family Madrigal, like that one, like this just was not the correct choice. This is not.
I mean, we'll need to see. I think we'll need to see if this Encanto craze can keep going. If it can keep going all the way, there's nothing really stopping it, and it would just be history versus.
I mean,
history president versus
Miranda. How many people who like love Encanto are just going to vote for Encanto no matter what the song is?
That is true. That's a very good point.
Just say.
So I guess
Encanto,
it's sort of honoring all of Lin-Manuel Miranda's songs.
Yeah, or just see Lin-Manuel Miranda's name.
Not just for Encanto. Yeah.
Like Lin-Manuel Miranda's beloved. Like if they just say, "Oh, Lin-Manuel Miranda," I'll vote for him. It might not even matter what song was submitted. So I don't know. It's a very close second for me. I'll have to see what happens. I might. So first weekend of March is when we will be doing our first Oscar winners predictions. I'll have to see how I'm feeling, how Encanto's doing that time as far as like the hype in the mainstream.
Yeah.
I might consider it. I might consider predicting it.
Same.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be close. It's definitely the biggest challenger right now. All right.
Mm.
So now let's talk about. We talked about Death on the Nile earlier. Death on the Nile versus Murder on the Orient Express. So you have these rated the same on Letterboxd. You
I
have them
do.
identically.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm curious to hear yours because if people have seen my Letterboxd, they know what I prefer.
Okay, it's a very close one. But I mean, I've got them rated the same. It's very close. I've got problems with both. I don't think either are perfect films, but I find some enjoyment out of both. I would say Murder on the Orient Express, and this is controversial actually. I think because most people are saying Death on the Nile is a better film.
I think Death on
I
the Nile is a
preferred
better film.
I preferred Murder on the Orient Express. I think.
Okay, explain.
Okay, so I think the cast is better in Murder on the Orient Express. There's it's got a lot more depth to it. I think there is not a bad performance in Murder on the Orient Express. Like Johnny Depp is not a bad performance. Sure, it's a tainted performance in some ways, but it's not a bad performance.
Both of them, but both of them have very problematic actors.
Exactly. Yeah, they do. They do.
Both Armie Hammer
They
and
do.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. We get to the mystery a lot quicker in Murder on the Orient Express, which I think is good. Like it's a mystery film, and we were waiting ages in Death of the Nile. Just tired. Just kept going. It just no mystery. But Murder on the Orient Express was a lot quicker to get to it. I do think Murder on the Orient Express has the advantage of like a broken down train in the middle of a wintry blizzard. It's a lot more conducive to a murder mystery story than a seemingly nice trip on the Nile. So I do think that it is easier to create an atmosphere in Murder on the Orient Express, but equally I do think the atmosphere created in Murder on the Orient Express is better for a murder mystery story. I do think it's better in Murder on the Orient Express than in Death of the Nile. And yeah, I think Murder on the Orient Express takes its time more with the overall reveal. Because in murder mystery stories, you are building towards this reveal. I think Murder on the Orient Express does it better than Death of the Nile. Death of the Nile just speeds through it. Murder on the Orient Express takes its time with it a bit more.
So you brought up atmosphere. I actually think it's more impressive what Death on the Nile did because it's a harder area. Because if even just looking at the cinematography, like Murder on the Orient Express is very cold cinematography. It's a lot of blue lights, blue and white lights, which is like a lot easier to make a tense.
It is easier. It is easier.
Death on the Nile, I feel like it still created that environment, but with like bright oranges and yellows and reds. So I don't know. I actually think that Death on the Nile is a bit more impressive with that. I would agree the cast altogether is better with Murder on the Orient Express. I will concede that, but I like Branagh better in Death on the Nile.
I think they're much of muchness, really. Maybe I would agree that Branagh is better in Death on the Nile. I would also point out Death on the Nile does have positives over Murder on the Orient Express. I just chose to not bring them up to improve my argument.
Because debate. Yeah, I think that. So you say like yes, the murder they get to faster in Murder on the Orient Express. We get to the mystery faster. However, I feel like it's telegraphed a lot sooner. Like 20, 30 minutes into Murder on the Orient Express, and I'd figured out how it was going to end. So whereas Death on the Nile, there was still at least one thing that I hadn't figured out by the end, even if one thing was quite obvious. And like, yes, obviously we spent less time with it, but I mean, I also think that like it did hold off. Like the first hour of Death on the Nile was trying to make us care about the characters, and actually create an emotional bond with the characters. It didn't 100% succeed, but I think it partially succeeded. I think there is some merit to what it was trying to do. We could have lost 20 minutes, maybe 30. We didn't need all of it, but in theory, I like the idea, and even though it wasn't executed perfectly, I still think it kind of works as a whole. So they are very close. I think that the actual mystery element was pulled off better in Death on the Nile, contrary to Murder on the Orient Express. Even though we get into the mystery part.
That's where I think we would disagree the most. I think the mystery is handled probably slightly better in Murder on the Orient Express as opposed to Death and Nile, making it a slightly better film since it is a mystery film after all.
Right. So what's also interesting is you've read both books before you watched the
I have,
film.
yeah.
And I went into both films cold, experiencing the story through the film first. So, and yeah, I think that, like, I guess another thing to me is, like, Murder in the Orient Express felt more like a TV movie, whereas Death on the Nile felt way more cinematic. To me.
Yes, probably. But I mean, Agatha Christie books do have a history of television movies. That's
Yes, yeah.
they're
I
quite
just I
popular.
just think
I've
that
seen a
Death
lot
on the
of
Nile,
television movies. It
I
is
feel like
maybe
Death on
more,
the
yeah.
Nile as a story lended itself better to film.
Yeah, and I think I would concede Branagh directs Death on the Nile
Yeah,
far better. Like in cinematography, production design, costume design, all of that kind of thing is
all the
far
technical
better in Death
aspects
on the
are
Nile.
better, which I think
Yeah,
makes, because I did find Murder on the Orient Express quite dull through a lot of it, because I feel like we meander in the mystery too long. Like, we get into it,
okay.
but there's a lot of dull moments in between, like, where we're getting stuff. Whereas with this, and instead of, like, because that was like sparse, it was like we get a fun mystery thing and then a bit of a lull, and then we get into another fun mystery thing and then a bit of a lull with Murder on the Orient Express. With this, we just put all of the dull stuff
Yeah.
at front, and
Yeah.
then we just put all of the mystery stuff at the back end. And I don't think it works any better, but I think the technical aspects being stronger in Death on the Nile make the duller parts a bit more bearable compared to Murder
Yeah.
on the Orient Express.
I'd say it does make that sort of format though makes Murder on the Orient Express a more overall satisfying experience because all of these things are happening across the film. Like you are never completely tuned out of Murder on the Orient Express. Whereas that first hour of Death on the Nile, I was a bit tuned out. Like it got,
I
I
am
think,
curious to
yeah,
rewatch Death on the Nile though, because like they did set up some stuff in that first hour. Now, like the problem is that, like, yeah, they didn't make it incredibly obvious that they were setting up important stuff for later. But I think on rewatch it could actually improve. Which that isn't to say that that's a good thing, but I'd be
mm,
curious to see how redeemable it actually is with that first hour. And I guess
yeah,
with, like, where I do think the character connections work personally is that I think in Murder in the Orient Express, because of the nature of the narrative, I feel like we feel very isolated. Like Perot feels very isolated. Contrary to in Death on the Nile, like I feel like he does have some like very real connections with some of the other characters, which is
yeah,
a bit more fun to see. Even if like I couldn't care less about his romance subplot, like it was still nice to see Perot interact with friends rather than just an entire, spoilers for Murder on the Orient Express, which came out 5 years ago, an entire train of murderers.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I will also clarify Murder on the Orient Express isn't my favourite Agatha Christie novel.
Yeah,
They are the most popular DC. Deservedly so? Probably not. If
what do
I
you
want
think
to,
will adapt next?
so my first answer would be Crooked House if they are going for the more popular ones, but that was made into a film in 2017, just not by Kenneth Branagh. They just made that into a
Okay,
film. I'd say maybe, and then there were none. That feels like the next most popular
so like
after
I've
that.
heard of that.
Yeah,
So,
and that's probably my favourite Agatha Christie novel. So I
okay.
would be. It won't be that one though, because Poirot's not in that one, and I don't
Oh,
know if Kenneth Branagh will actually direct one without Poirot.
that's true.
Um, oh, that is a good point actually. So,
I've made a point
um,
against myself.
yes, exactly, exactly. If you're going to do one with Poirot, you might do his first one, the Mysterious Affair at Styles. You might do it. That's like the first Poirot one. It's quite famous, I guess. If they are, I mean, maybe Kenneth Branagh will just decide to stick behind the camera, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. But overall, any final points in the Orient Express versus Death on the Nile debate?
I mean, as we said, I think they're very close. They
They
are.
are. They are.
There is not much difference between the quality between either two. They're both decent films that are problematic, but
Yep.
overall, fairly fun.
Yeah, I had fun with both of them. So, yep. All right. I think that's good for the show. Let's
Okay,
let's
yeah,
end on that. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. we did a longer show after our 40-minute show last week. Bit more to talk about. Probably be releasing clips of the reviews and the probably our questions out as a separate video, so you can keep up on that. If you'd like to send in a question, you can. That's an option. Thomas, where can the people on the internet find you?
You can find me at the YouTube channel Payments Pictures and on Letterboxd at Thomas Gladstone.
You can find me YouTube at The Basement and Letterboxd at Trevor Matson. And we will see you guys next week for another edition of Oscar Buzz. Until then, stay safe, everybody, and goodbye.